PM's off console.
This is the NASA Flight Facility Range Control Center. We are currently counting down for the launch of a NASA Terrier improved Malemute suborbital sounding rocket carrying the SubTec-6 payload. Target launch time this morning is 4:35 a.m. Countdown this morning has gone fairly smoothly. We have checked out the payload while the rocket was in the vertical position and now, or the horizontal position, and now in the vertical position. Currently, the winds are within the limits, so we are green for winds for launch, both for the test rocket and for the main sounding rocket this morning. The last report we had was that we were also currently green for clear skies with our camera stations for looking at the vapor tracers that will be released during the flight. We are calling for a chance of scattered clouds at the time of the launch. Also, our surveillance picture, we're busily working a couple what we would call targets or ships out in the surveillance area, and we are talking to those ships out there and trying to get them to move out of the way in order for us to do the launch this morning. The launch window for today is 4:35 a.m. and then we have plus 4 minutes that we can go, and then we currently have through July 2nd for our window for this launch.
PM TD Channel 1.
Go ahead, TD.
I'd like to start getting an idea about where we're headed here, so maybe if we can get the PI to weigh in on what his observation sites look like, or LWO give a weather brief, we can assess the optical, from the optical point of view, and then we'll know whether to press with test rockets.
Copy that. SRPO, can you chime in on the PI status at this point, green or red?
Yeah, give me a minute or two, and I'll check. I'll get right back with you.
And LWO, this is PM.
PM, this is LWO.
Well, SRPO is assessing green or red for the PI. Could you give us a brief weather brief?
Sure. Yeah, currently we're seeing about what we expected over the course of the evening. We're going to start to see these clouds continue to come into the area. Latest detection on our salometers, we're getting some hits at about 1,400 feet. So we do have those scattered clouds at that level. We also still have those clouds at the 25,000 foot level. Looking at the infrared satellite, really don't see any indication that that's going to clear up real quick. I think that's basically what we're going to have for the rest of the evening. So it's really no change from what I had briefed earlier, but still seeing those clouds as our main problem for this evening, weather-wise. I can slide the infrared satellite over to the screen, to the TV channel where we're currently showing the radar loop, and I can loop the satellite, and you can see for yourself the clouds still streaming in from the west.
Okay, copy that, LWO, just as we thought.
Yes, PM, would you rather have the satellite displayed than the radar for the rest of the evening?
And LWO,
yeah, we would like to have the satellite infrared.
Yeah.
Copy.
And TD, this is SRPO.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd rather give you an update on the optical sites.
Okay, standing by.
All right, we started out tonight. They were both green, and as the night progressed, both of them turned red. And in the past, I guess, hour or so, they've been clearing up a little bit. Currently, Wallops is green, and last report from Duck, North Carolina, is they were yellow at this point. So I think it's weather-wise, it's definitely worth hanging in here. I think shipping is our biggest concern at the moment.
I copy.
And TD is also on channel 1. If you would meet me on 5, please.
This is the NASA Wallace Flight Facility Range Control Center, continuing to count down for the NASA Terrier improved Malemute suborbital sounding rocket with SubTec-6 payload. Targeted launch time this morning is 4:35 a.m. Eastern Time. As you may have heard reported that we are currently green on skies here at Wallops. We also have an additional camera station to look at the vapor tracers down in North Carolina, and they're trending more towards the yellow side with some clouds in that area. Winds are currently green, so we at Wallops for the launch vehicles, both the test rockets and the main rockets, so we don't have any issues there. However, we are still working some boat issues out in the impact areas, and we are talking to those boaters and trying to get them to move so that we can do this launch. We still have a little over an hour to go, so hopefully we can get some cooperation and get those boats to move for us.
RSO TD Channel 1. We are CANXing test rockets tonight. We will not do them. LPM TD.
LPM, go ahead.
Did you copy that? We're going to cancel test rockets tonight.
LPM copies, thank you.
And you just heard the test director announce that we're not doing test rockets this morning. The test rockets typically are used to check out our radar systems to make sure everything is ready to go for launch. However, we also did those the last two previous mornings, and everything checked out.
TD RSO, channel 1.
Go ahead.
Roger, stepping off console.
Copy.
is Nassau's Type Facility Range Control Center. We are now at T-minus 45 minutes and counting for the launch of the carrier-improved Malemute suborbital sounding rocket carrying the SubTec-6 payload. Launch time this morning is targeted 4:35 a.m. with a launch window of 4 minutes. Last reports were that the winds were within limits and are green for launch. And about 15 minutes ago, we had a report that the skies were still clear. That would allow us to launch the rocket. The one thing that we are monitoring and working as we did for the last two attempts, we do have boats in our hazard area, and folks are feverishly working to try to get those boats to cooperate and move out of the area. So we'll continue to monitor that and see if we are able to get this launch off today. Launch window does run until July 2nd, so we still have a couple more days to get this rocket off before we need to close down the window. After this launch, our next launch would be Orbital Sciences Antares rocket carrying the Cygnus cargo carrier to the International Space Station. They are currently targeting no earlier than July 10th. A July 10th launch would be at 2:02 p.m. Eastern Time. The SubTec-6 payload is to test several new suborbital rocket technologies. These technologies include the deployment system for forming vapor clouds used to track the winds in space for studies in the ionosphere, the miniature deployment actuator for small spacecraft called CubeSats, a low-cost attitude solution system, and improvements in telemetry and flight recorders to increase the rates for data collected and transferred during flight. The sub-payload deployment method being tested on this flight uses small rocket motors like those used in model rockets to eject sub-payloads from the main payload. During the test, two sub-payloads with mixtures of mainly barium will be deployed from the sounding rocket. In addition to the barium, the two sub-payloads contain small amounts of the natural earth metals lithium and strontium. By combining the metals and burning them rapidly, the mixture will produce enough heat and vaporize the mixture to form clouds that will help to measure the winds in the transition region between the Earth's atmosphere and space. The vapor releases occur at approximately 223 seconds after vehicle liftoff between 68 and 86 miles above the Earth. The byproducts of burning these metals do not pose a risk to health or the environment given their release in space, and the amount of barium, strontium, and lithium used in the test is much smaller than that used in a typical municipal 4th of July fireworks display, for example. The colors in these displays are the result of rapidly burning small amounts of these earth metals. For instance, barium generally produces a cloud with a mixture of blue-green, while strontium and lithium produces blues and reds. For this mission, the vapor tracers are projected to be visible throughout the Mid-Atlantic region from southern New Jersey down to the Carolina Virginia line.
Go ahead, SRPO.
Yeah, I want to give you a quick update. right now, camera sights, looks like Wallops is green, Duck is red, and the Wallops site is kind of marginal in and out as clouds come in and move out. Looks like from what we're seeing, shipping they're cooperating, but not sure they're going to get out fast enough. So I'd like to wait to see this next update on shipping, and then we'll make a decision on how to proceed.
Copy that, SRPO. So we'll continue to press until we get our next update.
Roger that.
TDRSO, Channel 1.
Go ahead.
Roger, Blue number 5. Wind waiting results are in, and we're green for winds.
Copy all.
And you just heard reports from the Standing Rock Program Office that the camera stations looking at the vapor tracers when they're released, that we are still clear here at Wallops, so we're green. However, our other viewing site at Duck, North Carolina is red. However, we only require the site here at Wallops to be to green for launch. Also, Rain Safety is reporting that based on the latest balloon that we launched to measure mid-altitude winds, that the winds are also green for launch. Again, launch is targeted this morning for 4:35 a.m. with a 4-minute launch window.
PD RSO Channel 1.
Go ahead.
Be advised, we're currently updating calculation for ships.
Copy. PM, did you copy?
I copied, thank you.
This is Lost Range Control Center. We have just passed the T-minus 30-minute mark and counting for the launch this morning of the Terrier Improved Malemute suborbital sending rocket with SubTec-6 payload. Launch time is targeted for 4:35 a.m. with the launch window of 4 minutes. We do expect shortly to get an update from range safety on our surveillance picture, which is the area where we would like mariners not to be. So it's the avoidance areas for mariners when we do launch. So we should be getting an update from them shortly. Currently, last reports, our winds are green for launch, as are the skies here at Wallops are clear, fading in and out, but at the time of the report, they are clear for launch.
PMTD item 173 is in work right now per last update from RSO.
Copy that, TD, and that'll be our decision point.
ACS check 174.
ROA TD check 172.
RCROA, you can release RF avoidance on pad 2. Copy, RF avoidance released.
TDRSO, Channel 1.
TD, go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, we just got another update on ship position, so we're redoing the calculation as we speak.
Copy, standing by.
Roger, meet me on 5, please. ROA, RSO, Channel 1.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Roger, item 175, stand by. Initial settings are azimuth 89.8, elevation 83.9. How copy?
Azimuth 89.8, elevation 83.9.
That's a good copy.
Thank you, sir. LC ROA.
LC, go ahead.
Set launcher to initial wind weighting settings of azimuth 89.8, elevation 83.9.
Copy and work. ROA, LC.
Go ahead.
New launcher settings are in for the ARC launcher. Azimuth 89.8, elevation 83.9.
That's good, copy. LPM, ROA.
LPM, go ahead.
Connect Terrier to firing console in Blockhouse 2.
You can check item 177.
177 is checked.
And the first stage Terrier motor has been, wiring has been connected to the firing console in the blockhouse.
PM, SRPO on 1. Yeah, with the latest update from RSO and from the camera sites, I recommend we go ahead and stick in through the window and see if we can get these guys cleared out, and if the hole opens up, we'll go.
Copy that, SRPO. We'll go ahead and press, and we'll proceed to the 20-minute polling for green or red.
Roger that. And just be advised, right now, duck is red and wallops is green, but the conditions are improving.
Copy that. Wallops is green, duck is red, but we're improving.
You just heard a discussion between the project manager for the range and Center Rock program office that they feel that we do need to go on and press on.
All stations ROA. Stand by for station checks to proceed with the terminal count.
And hopefully the plan is that surveillance picture improves and are within our calculations to allow us to launch. So our targeted launch time this morning is 4:35 a.m. Eastern Time with a 4-minute launch window after that.
All stations ROA. This is the 46.007 Terrier improved Malemute launching from pad to ARC launcher. Please stand by for station checks to proceed with the terminal count. All stations should announce status as green or red on channel 1. RC.
RC green.
M&O.
M&O green.
Photo.
Photo's green.
Camera 8.
8's green.
15.
15's green.
LWO.
LWO is green.
Computer.
Computer, green.
Programmer.
Programmer's green.
LC.
LC green.
LPM.
LPM green.
PLC.
PLC's green.
PTM.
PTM is green.
ACS.
ACS green.
Adam.
Adam is green.
Condi.
Condi's green.
CUS.
CUS is green.
Lynch.
Lynch is green.
PI.
PI answering for SRPO as well. We are green currently, waiting for final update as we get a little closer.
Copy. MM.
MM green.
PM.
PM is green, pending the situation on the boats and the science.
RSO.
RSO is green to enter terminal count, currently red to launch based on boats.
Copy. TD.
TD green for terminal count. Red pending RSO turning green. And all stations are responsible for reviewing the go, no-go criteria listed in the MOD. Only stations annotated with an asterisk in the previous step are permitted to call a hold. All other sites should report red.
PLC, check item 180.
GPS system is
Adam,
now in
check
XL
181
powered.
and 182. C100, go ahead.
T-minus 17 minutes and counting. T-minus 16 minutes and counting to launch the Terrier improved Malemute suborbital sounding rocket with the SubTec-6 payload system. Flight time this morning is projected to be about 15 minutes, with the payload impacting as it comes down by parachute out in the Atlantic Ocean, approximately 57 miles off the coast from Wallops Island. The vehicle is expected to exit the rail in about a half second after ignition. And then the first stage Terrier will burn out at 5.2 seconds. The second stage Malemute will ignite at 17 seconds when the vehicle is at 4 miles altitude. And then that motor will burn out at 28.7 seconds. We expect to reach apogee of about 85 miles at 188 seconds into flight. And the vapor tracers will be designated and formed as approximately 223 seconds and 265 seconds.
PLC, check 184.
M&O, start recorders.
Recorders started, and command site carrier is radiating at 437.5 megahertz.
Copy, check 185 and 186.
Okay.
TLC check 187, 188, 189,
Telemetry systems on external power.
190.
ACS check 191.
RC request interrogation of radar transponder.
In work.
M&O record RF parameters.
In work, and you can check step 195. We have lock.
Copy that, M&O.
PTM checks 198.
TLC check 194.
PTM, this is MM.
It's PTM.
Did you mean 196?
No, it says item 198, Nazarok, TM pressure level.
PTM, this is PM. Are you using Rev 1 of the countdown? RC, PM, can you report on the transponder interrogation and verify good 5 code?
This RC, yes, good 5 code.
PTM checks 196 and 197.
ACS check 199.
And GPS, System 1 of the vehicle has acquired the GPS signals.
PTM checks 200.
RSO, ROA.
RSO.
Just looking for the final wind waiting setting, sir.
Negative. We'll get it to you as soon as we can.
Copy.
Just a reminder that those that watch on Ustream in the area and want to go out and see the launch, make sure your system is probably
ROA,
several seconds
RSO, channel 1.
behind the actual events based on
Go ahead.
depending
Final
on your
wind weighted
system.
settings. Elevation 84.1, azimuth 87.8.
ROA copies elevation 84.1, azimuth 87.8.
That's a good readback.
LC, ROA. Confirm final wind waiting settings per blockhouse settings.
Copy in work.
TM, SRPL1.
Go ahead, SRPO.
Yeah, can you MM and TD and RSO meet me on channel 5?
Roger.
ROA LC.
Go ahead.
New launcher settings are in for the ARC launcher. Elevation 84.1, azimuth 87.8.
Copy LC, that's a good readback.
ROA, this is M&O on 1, check step 193.
Copy.
All stations, this is PM. The plan right now is that we will conduct a hold at the T-minus 3-minute mark. We'll be pending final science conditions, green or red, and the shipping situation. Again, we're going to be holding at the T-minus 3-minute mark.
Can you just hold the plan as we're just past the T-minus 8-minute mark, and our plan is to count down to the T-minus 3-minute mark and hold. We have a launch window that runs for 4 minutes. This will allow us to do a final poll on our science conditions, which we need clear skies here at Wallops in order for the land-based cameras to observe the vapor tracer releases from the payload, and also allow us to get the final calculations from marine safety in our surveillance report of ships out in the hazard area. T-minus 6 minutes and counting. Again, the plan is to go down to the T-minus 3 minutes, and we will hold at that point to get the final science and marine safety surveillance reports.
CUS check 203. PTM checks 204.
Adam, flight recorders recording.
PLC check 206.
T-minus 4 minutes.
PM, SRPO.
Go ahead, SRPO.
Yeah, we're green to go into the 3-minute hold, so I'll give you a green on 207. I'm going to want to hold at 3 minutes and get the final report.
Copy that, SRPO. We'll be holding the clock at 3 minutes. TD, did you copy?
TD copies. Programmer, hold the clock at 3 minutes.
Programmer copies. Three minutes and holding.
And we are T-minus 3 minutes and holding to get the final science and surveillance reports. Our lunch window this morning does extend until 4:39 a.m.
RSO, PM.
PM, RSO, and 1, go ahead.
Could you please give us an update on your ship situation?
Roger, we just ran the last calculation and last known positions, and we're still red for ships.
Copy that, RSO. SRPO, this is PM.
Go ahead.
Yes, SRPO, I'd like to assess the situation, whether we should continue pressing or if we should call it for the evening based on the red conditions we're hearing.
The one optical site down in Duck remains red, and the one at Wallops which was green. They had a band of clouds moving in. They just called red about a minute ago. So with that in mind, with both shipping and clouds, I think we ought to go ahead and we'll call it for tonight.
Copy that, SRPO. We will go ahead and scrub for the evening. TD, did you copy?
TD copies.
M&O, RC, did you copy that last transmission? We are scrubbing for the evening.
RC copy.
M&O copies.
MMTD, you guys can start powering down. Copy that.
Again, you heard we have scrubbed this morning's launch attempt of the SubTec-6 mission due to a red our camera station science picture, which means we have clouds that have drifted over into the Wallops area that would prohibit the ground-based cameras that are looking at the vapor tracers from seeing those occur. And also, we are still red in the surveillance picture. We were very close today in both areas to be able to launch, but we just weren't able to get there. So the plan would be our launch window is again tomorrow between 4 and 5 a.m., and later we'll be getting a more probable time that we will target for the launch. So again, thanks for hanging in there with us today, and we will try again tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to see some results. This is Wireless Range Control.
PM on channel 1.
ROARC. Go ahead. Yes, you have order for voiding storage.
He's busy right now. This is RSO. Can I help you?
Thank you.
Roger that. He's in contact with some of the shipping traffic right now.
Roger, why don't... LWO, this is PM. If you could go ahead and proceed with your weather brief for tomorrow evening.
PM, this is LWO on Channel 1 with tomorrow night's weather briefing. The weather forecast for tomorrow night, this is the forecast map, kind of the synoptic setup that we can expect. High pressure, it's not really showing up on this graphic. We'll be drifting a little farther off the eastern seaboard tomorrow evening. What that's going to do is allow more of a return flow, more of a southerly wind, and that will bring in a little bit more moisture tomorrow night. So we're going to likely see some of the same problems with the clouds tomorrow evening as what we saw tonight. Unfortunately, it looks like we'll still see quite a bit of low-level moisture and maybe some mid and high-level moisture producing some clouds at that level as well. Looking at the forecast model here, what we can expect tomorrow evening around 2 to 5 a.m. This is a 5 a.m. graphic here. I think this is a little underdone with the amount of cloudiness that it shows. I think this is a little optimistic, but we are going to see pretty similar cloud heights as we saw tonight. We'll probably see some low-level clouds around 1,000 to 1,500 feet, and then also some mid and high-level clouds as the flow becomes more southerly in direction and we get a little bit more humidity in the region tomorrow evening. Looking at the seas for tomorrow night, if I stop the graphic here at 2 in the morning, looking pretty good in that regard, only about 2 to 4 feet expected once again tomorrow night for sea states. Upper level winds will be a bit different at the lower levels. Again, more of a southerly flow, south wind of 16 knots at the 1,000 foot level. That'll bring in a little bit more moisture at the low levels. And as we go up in height, winds still fairly light, even dropping a bit as we go up to around the 3,000 to 5,000 foot level, coming more southwesterly in direction and then picking up a westerly direction at around 15,000 feet. So what we can expect for our forecast tomorrow night, again, very similar to what we had this evening. We'll have some scattered clouds around the 1,000 foot level, and then we'll see those mid and high level clouds as well. Probably see a deck around 13,000 feet scattered, and then a broken deck at the 25,000 foot level. With that lower level moisture and the southerly flow, again, our humidity levels will be a little higher. We could see clouds a little lower as a result. Tonight we saw the low level clouds around 1,300 feet. Tomorrow night it could be around 1,000 feet or so. In worst case scenario, looking at a broken deck around 1,000 feet, and then possibly multiple cloud decks at the 5,000, 13,000, and 25,000 foot levels. Our temperature expected to be around 73 degrees tomorrow night. Again, those seas running around 2 to 4 feet. Humidity at 89%. For Duck, North Carolina, again, fairly similar conditions down in Duck than as what we will expect here at Wallops. No precipitation expected in either location, but again, those low clouds and also the mid and high level decks in Duck, North Carolina. Temperature expected of 74 degrees, and our winds out of a south-southwest direction around 4 knots. Temperature of 74, humidity level right around 91% for our relative humidity. So that'll conclude the weather briefing for tomorrow night's setup. Any questions?
Thank you, LWO. PM has no questions.
RSO, no questions.
SRPO has no questions.
Yeah, RSO, I wanted to try to get a update on what the plan is for tomorrow evening to deal with our boat traffic. It looks like SC's gone off headset, so if you could give us that plan.